Hey, welcome back to episode 2, Cards and Comics. Today we're going to talk about pricing. Everyone's favorite topic and source of anger in the hobby right now, pricing. So before we get into that, I want to show you some cards, and as we talk about pricing, I'll go through some of the cards I've been picking up for my latest mail day and show you a few frustrations as a collector getting cards in the mail. And we'll start out with the first card here. You can see is a Miguel Cabrera. It's a 5-star auto, and then when I opened the package, I saw it didn't actually have on the one touch a top. Somebody just taped down a card over the top. And so, you know, if you're gonna do this, first of all, don't do this. Second of all, put in a top loader or do something different than taping down a card on top of another card and shipping it in a holder that's not even the right size. Because now I'm going to have to extract this card on top of it. It looks like it's probably damaged, so I'm going to probably videotape that process just so if I have to return it. But yeah, this is not a good way to start out a video for a mail day. So again, not the best right here. So don't do this. If you're going to strip cards and tape cards on top of other cards for any reason, not a good look. So, obviously, today of this recording is the day after the LeBron James exquisite card I just sold at auction, Golden Auctions, brought $1.8 million, setting a record for modern cards. And again, I think this is just the tip of the iceberg for cards like this. I think, this is going to keep going up. You got to remember that these cards, 2003, those people who grew up with those cards, wanting those cards, are starting to get the money to get them. There's people with money to spend, and these are the high ticket items, the Ferraris, the Porsches of the hobby. There's going to be a lot of people who want these cards. So, I know people, are upset about the prices for cards like this. But again, they were always priced high. Obviously we could have all maybe picked one up for $2,000 or $3,000 back in the day. But, back then I had no money. So I couldn't have bought a card like that. I'm sure a lot of you guys were in the same boat. So, it's fun to look at. But, these cards were always out of my price range. So I'm not too upset. But $1.8 million is serious coin. Serious card. Serious collection, famous paintings, things like that, bring money like this. So, sports cards are starting to get up there, Comic books, the $1 million comic book sale, was it Superman, Action Comics #1, things like that, we're bringing this kind of money, and I think sports cards are starting to get there. The big thing here is it's modern. This is a modern card bringing $1.8 million. I think a Trout Superfractor, from his rookie, from 2011 or even the 2009, could easily bring a sum like this at some point. Now, the thing that's interesting about this LeBron card is that it's not even his true rookie card from that set. The exquisite set had parallels, and this was the parallel version. I believe it was 14 to 23. There's actually the base rookie card, and as we see now, and we'll talk about a little later, is it's really the base cards, right? The base cards are what people are wanting now. They don't want the parallels as much as they want the base cards. So I think a really nice, verified, untrimmed, real big importance there. LeBron with an unmolested patch, which is also sometimes not a given, could bring, I think even more than this card if it was a super nice, highly graded, great patch, great auto card, just because it's the base, just because it's the true rookie card. It's my opinion. I think it's a cool card. Moving on to some other cards I want to show today. 97 Donner Studio. This is a hard hat. Really nice card. These cards are numbered out of 5,000 from 97. 97 Donner Studio was a great set. It had a lot of numbered parallels, had a lot of numbered cards in general, cards numbered out of 500. This is back in the day, 97. This is early on in parallel heaven. And so this is a really cool card. I really dig, this card and just how it looks. It could have been cooler if they would have die cut it. It's not die cut, even though it may look like it. It's a full regular size card. You just clear acetate around the helmet. But, I think in later editions, maybe there was die cut cards, in the shape of a helmet. But this year, not so much, but still a cool card. Still a great Griffey card. And, one of the inserts, I was really happy to pick up. Another card from back in the days when I collected Topps Inception. This is the same basic product from Panini Origins. I like the silver signatures, and this card right here is obviously, basically the same card, numbered out of 49 instead of 25, which I believe the original silver signatures were, but great card. Really, really like that card. It's Josh Jacobs. One of those really, I think, good rookie and, running back, but hey, it's pretty good, I think, price-wise for me to pick up. And another card to talk about here, that 2013 Topps Mike Trout 72 Topps Mini insert. I just love that card. I think the 72 set is amazing. It's a great set. Obviously, these early Mike Trout inserts, I think, are going to be valuable. It's a PSA 10. I think it's not been trimmed. And, I'm really, a big believer in these early inserts for Trout and just early cards for Trout. I know, things are a little high right now in price terms, of his rookie cards. So these are alternative ways to get into Trout and not have it be so expensive. So, going back on the pricing thing, the numbers are just, staggering. I think, so let's talk about base rookies, okay? So here's the latest, numbers from eBay, right before I filmed this. So the 2011 Topps Update Mike Trout PSA 10. The last one brought $2,375. So $2,375 for a PSA 10. Base Update Mike Trout PSA 10. The last Acuna Base Update 2018 PSA 10 brought $236. But we all know that the bat down card, can bring up to $2,000. But just the base, $236 for a pretty young player. So 2009 top Steph Curry base, PSA 10 brought $3,025. Okay. So this is where I really get into, what I think this really started with the base card. I think the Steph Curry really started the base card mania for modern collecting. I think this was the first card that people kind of went nuts for. That was a base card. And the last Chrome version of this card brought $15,100. So just amazing, for a base card. The 2003 Topps LeBron James PSA 10, the last 10 brought $3,850 just for the base Topps card. And the Chrome brought $16,197. So as you can see, the prices are insane. And then, the last PSA 10, Pat Mahomes PSA 10 Prism, base Prism, no color, $6,255. That card has skyrocketed in the last 2 months. Him signing that $500 million deal obviously doesn't hurt. So there it is. That's the pricing. That's where we are today. Here it is. The trend is that it's base rookie cards, right? It's not anything other than base rookie cards that people are really, that's really, gone, nuts. Other cards, have gone up as well. I'm not saying that, it's just base rookie cards, but it's been the base cards that's really been the driver for this, for these, I call it more sustainable changes, right? Because, it's not the super short prints or the red refractors that people are really wanting. It's these really base rookies that are, very affordable when they first come out. You can get them in any product, and that's basic products. And, you might get one or two a box. So you can buy a box of a base card, a base product, and good chance of pulling one. And that's really driving a lot of this interest in retail right now. You're seeing retail fly off the shelf. In the old days, retail would just sit there because, it was a hit-based economy for cards. It was the $3 relic plus hopefully an auto. That's what you're looking for. And all the base cards were just kind of thrown away or thrown in a box. Nobody cared about them. Now that those base cards are worth hundreds of dollars, especially as graded cards, I think it's completely changed the game here. So moving on, I went to the local card store here in Albany, and I actually found a really cool card here. It is a Yogi Berra SGC 80, which is the equivalent of a 6, 48 Bowman rookie card. So this is, for me, I love Hall of Famers. I love rookie cards. So this is a great addition to my collection and a card I don't have. So this card is really interesting because it really highlights, what the differences were back in the day between PSA and SGC. Back in the 90s, 2000s, early 2000s, SGC had great standards except for one thing, centering. So if your card was a 8OC, 9OC, you sent it to SGC and got a straight grade. And people paid more for straight grades. People don't like qualifiers. So a lot of old-time SGC cards are off-center. Now this card still has a nice, it's still a nice card. The centering doesn't really bother me in these 48 Bowmans, but, I think it is what it is. I got a good price on it, so I'm very happy to have that card. Next card, you saw my first video. If you haven't, please click on it and look at it. But you saw that I had the Ken Griffey Jr. cut above out of the 2000 EX 2000 product. Well, here is a Jordan insert. I know it's not a core part of my collection, but I really like Jordan inserts. If I get a chance to pick a cool one up, I will, and this one is a very cool Jordan card. Again, you can see it. It's definitely a really nice for the grade. These rare inserts like this, again, I'm not a big believer or care too much about the grade. I just think it's a cool card. People like that card, and I think it's always going to be valuable, and it's going to keep going up. Next card, to talk about is Hall of Famer Willie Mays. I don't have this card. 61 Mazes are not, they're not rare, but they're, for me, I've never been able to get one that was nice. Now this has great color. The blue really is a deep blue. I love that. This card can have a lot of print issues, can have a lot of print defects, and also focus issues. 61 tops are just known for their focus issues. You may have cards that look like they were shot from 2,000 miles away. And another thing too is if you look in that where the name is, the nameplate area, that's where you get lots of print dots. You see a white one over there, but a card to watch out for is the 61 Hank Aaron. Usually that's full of print dots in that area there. And moving on to the next cards here, I mentioned Magic the Gathering, and so here's a difference between the highlighted difference between card collectors and, let's say, non-sports card collectors is, so I bought 2 Magic cards, one from Arabian Nights and one from Unlimited from the same dealer, and they shipped them in the same holder. Now, obviously nobody would do that. If this was 2 Acuna rookie cards, I would be highly upset. Now the condition of these cards isn't mint. I don't think the conditioning probably got worse, but again, it just shows like how you ship Magic cards. 90% of my Magic cards, if I buy individual Magic cards, come in a plain white envelope, shipped like this, shoved in as many as they can. It just shows that condition isn't the biggest thing with Magic the Gathering collectors. It should be, because some of these cards are very expensive. So hopefully my Mox Jet, when I buy it one day, doesn't come shipped that way. Going on, about these, the pricing issues right now. Let's just talk about the reason why these prices have exploded. The biggest driver, besides, having some great players to collect today, is grading. It's all about grading. I could show you those same prices of those same cards I just told you about in a PSA 9, PSA 8, and the prices dramatically go down. And I would argue that a 9 and a 10 quality PSA card, there is not much difference. You can argue, that there is a huge difference in quality. I don't think so. I don't think there's a huge quality difference in those cards. So, again, as we go through, I think, you know, grading is here to stay. It's going to be what drives a lot of the you know, the pricing in the hobby. So I think, you know, we just have to either deal with it. You know, you can choose to avoid it, but, you know, for best resale value, if you're an investor, grading is here, and you have to kind of pay attention and use it if you want to maximize your value. We can talk about PSA and some of their issues in later videos. I have a lot to say on that, but as you can see, I still collect PSA. Here is a 74 Carlton Fisk. I love this 74 top set. The great thing about 74s is the 74 Peachy set actually is that's a very rare set to find and collect. This card stock on 74 Peachy is terrible. So finding Hall of Famers and great cards from 74 is very tough. Very tough. Next up is a 2012 Mike Trout Gold Sparkle. This is one of those cards I really love. Never had it. All the parallels from this year I think are really good pickups. This is one that looks really nice, and I will definitely keep that card for a long time. It's one of my favorite cards to pick up in terms of just years of Trout. I love picking up 2012 autos of Trout, so you know, just a really cool card. Here's a set that I really love, and you know, obviously great player here, but Bo Jackson from the 2018 Topps Brooklyn collection. You know, this set was, you know, supposedly designs that Topps didn't use and repurposed and kind of reissued in this year. You know, I can kind of believe it. This design looks like something Topps may have done or thought about in maybe the 90s. Just a beautiful set. I think it was, you know, done really nice. Autos are on card. Acuna has an auto in this. I think Trout has the auto. Well, I know Trout has an auto, and I have the Trout auto in this set. The base auto. You know, there's parallels of these cards. So in my Mike Trout video, you know, I might be showing you my top 10 Trout cards, and maybe that card will make it. I've got some pretty cool Trout cards, but it's one of my favorites, and it's just a cool set. I'd like to have the full set of just base autos. I think they're just really, really cool. Next up is a collection of cards I bought all as a group. We'll start out here with the 72 Billy Williams. I really love that 72 set. You know, specifically the Cubs cards are the cards that have the pink on them. You know, I just think it's a great color combination, very 70s with the yellow, the pink, the stars. It just screams 70s. It's a cool card. I think Billy Williams is a little underappreciated, but you know, a great Hall of Famer and a super inexpensive card to pick up. Next is, you know, a card that, you know, I've had many a times. It's a very difficult card to keep in my collection. When I go to shows, I get so many people asking for this card. You know, it's a 72 Johnny Bench. It's not a hard card to get. It's actually very affordable for an early Johnny Bench card, but you know, it really sells well. I mean, if you have this card in a PSA 8 or above, you know, you take it to a card show and it's almost an instant sold card. People just love it. It's again everything you're looking for. It screams vintage. It screams, you know, Johnny Bench. It's a great photo of him. It's just a cool card. You know, cool cards like this from the 70s, you know, that are this inexpensive and this nice, you know, are just fun to have. You know, I think if I had 20 of these, I'd be happy. So the last two cards here, actually three cards. Got 70 Topps Orlando Cepeda, and there's that 8.5. I don't remember in an earlier video I said I really love the 8.5 grade. So, you know, finding a Hall of Famers in 8.5, I usually just buy them if they're reasonably priced. So, good example of that. Good card, a little off center, but it's still really nice. And right next to it is the K-Line. I don't have many K-Line cards, and so this was just to get more of him in the collection. Obviously, I like the grade, the 8.5. It's nice. I really like it in terms of color. I really like that it's you know, looks pretty packed fresh, and again, you know, it's you know, not very expensive, but it's a good card. You know, and I think a set that is actually deceptively hard to grade. The 70s are tough sometimes with that gray border. And last but not least, it's I believe this is a 1993 3 Hobby Masters from Topps. These were 1 in 36 packs, I believe. Not easy to get. Really cool card. Look at that shine on that card. Just one of those really cool, you know, things that you sometimes see. You know, that to me just looks cool. There's the back, upside down. But again, you know, fun set. You know, it's got, you know, purple. You can see this kind of face in the background. That, you know, that diffractor looking, you know, very inexpensive card for one per box insert. So that's all the cards I had today. And so I just want to end, you know, final thoughts on, you know, this pricing trend. You know, this trend will keep going, but, you know, especially on an unopened product, I think there's other forces at play on an unopened product that really the distributors are really driving up the prices there. You know, back in the day, I talked to multiple dealers and they're telling me that, you know, there was sort of a race to the bottom mentality, trying to blow out through their inventory, trying to have, you know, a little bit of a price war. Now, I don't want to say collusion is happening, but, you know, the dealers are looking at each other's prices, and there's this idea to try to, you know, price them higher versus lower. And that is definitely something that you see, you know, more often now. You see pricing going up. You see things like, you know, as soon as a set hits, you know, the eBay price is double, triple for that same product. And, you know, blowout, those guys, they see that, and they're seeing that. They're adjusting their prices, you know, and it's not shocking to see people like, let's say, blowout, you know, putting a price that's, you know, too high for the first week and then them lower it. I think they're happy just to have a high price to begin with, and then if it's too high, they'll lower it later, and, you know, again, maximize their money. I think that's going to continue. For singles, you know, I'm going to talk about in videos, you know, singles are, you know, something that, you know, you'll see is different, is that, you know, not all cards, you know, even the really expensive cards keep going up in value. And I think it's a watch out, it's a call out for people really investing. Please be diversified. And if you are investing in cards, because, you know, I'm going to put a video together showing some key cards like 52 Topps Mickey Mantle, which has, you know, in some grades plummeted in value compared to the highs. And, you know, some Hall of Fame rookie cards, even some modern cards have gone down. So it's not like, you know, this economy and this environment makes everything a safe investment. You know, there are cards that are even considered blue chip stocks that have gone down in value. So just wanted to share those thoughts with you, share some of my collection. You know, I'll be doing another mail day video pretty soon. I'm glad you guys could come in for video too. Thanks, and see you next time.